So we're live. Stevie, I think you should start the show today.
Okay. Hey, what's going on, guys? Steve Andes here. This is the ThoughtXchange. I got my boy.
Hey, it's Cameron Barkey, ThoughtXchange right here.
Cameron Barkey, ThoughtXchange. And we have the beautiful Jennifer Murphy in the hot seat today.
Hello.
Yeah. You can look at any camera. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. So let's start off by just telling us a little bit about who you are.
Okay.
Where you come from. What your background is.
What's my background?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Jennifer Murphy. I'm an Edmontonian. I went to Vic.
School of Performing Arts.
School of Performing Arts. I'm not an actress. I'm a realtor. So I put my face on your lawn instead of up at the theaters, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Local. I've done a ton of traveling, ton of personal development work.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the episode. The 360, for those of you listening right now, the 360 tapped out. And we didn't get any behind the scenes, but me and Jen here, we had a great conversation about traveling and learning about experiences while traveling and kind of the wealth that traveling brings. So you said you've been to, 48 countries?
48 countries, yes.
In what was the time span of that?
You've been to 48 countries?
Yeah.
You're all over the place.
Yeah.
Mostly South American countries?
Well, but you got to remember, like I did Europe all in one swing in my 20s, right? So that was 20 countries, 19 countries right there.
And how long?
I traveled for 8 years straight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
But
What
Like
time
never
frame?
coming back?
I would always come back. I would come back like Christmas or my birthday or whatever. But I would just, so I moved to LA when I was 18. And then I moved to London when I was 20, got a worker's permit, right? And with that money, I traveled all over Europe. And then I came back and I lived in Rome for a year as an English teacher, which was this amazing job where I just got paid to learn Italian, really.
So like kind of the opposite? It's like,
well, because when you're teaching somebody a word in English, they say it out to you back in their language, right? But you get to learn it for free because you're getting paid.
So you're learning Italian and you're teaching them
That's
English.
right. And it was right during the crossover of the year from the lira to the euro. So all the European Union banks had to be in English. It was their new mandated language. So you're teaching like presidents of the banks. They don't care about English. They don't want to learn English.
No.
So we would go for ice cream. We would go shopping. Or they wouldn't show up for their lesson. You still get paid. Like it was awesome.
They just wouldn't show up because they didn't give two hoots about learning English.
Why? They're in their 40s, 50s. They're making six-figure salaries for the past 20 years. They don't care.
They just had to do it just to get it on a piece of paper?
On a piece of paper, and they would say, hey, sign here, sign there. Yeah, it was fun.
That's so funny. And how old are you while you're doing this?
I was in my 20s. And I actually came home at the library. This is like goes to show you that books are not real. It's like books are somebody's opinion. We have to remember that, right?
Yeah.
So I pick up this book, and it says how to work and live in Europe, right? And I turned to Italy. I read this address, and it says Via Nemorense, like number 39. I was like, why is that so familiar? And then I was like, oh yeah, the Ministero del Lavoro. I never translated that in my head, but the people that would have granted me a work permit, I taught the whole building. Like the people that would have thrown me out of the country for not having a work permit.
That's so funny.
I taught the whole building.
How to speak English.
Without a work permit. Right? The Ministry of Work was my client.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Did they just not check?
No, because this is how you do business in Italy. I like you, you like me, good enough.
Yeah.
Right? But if you fuck that shit up, then it's done.
Then I got
a problem.
It's like it's the same thing with the computers and the things. We're like, oh, you fucked up. Let's take a look at some of these violations you did on these contracts you agreed to.
That's hilarious. And that's why they're always yelling at each other, eh? Like, always like, I used to live with an Italian. I lived with an Italian and what was he? Italian Spanish. But their language is fairly similar a little bit. Like, there's a little bit of a cross. They understood each other.
I speak Italian and Spanish, so I mix them a lot too.
Yeah, they cross over every now and then,
They
right?
big time crossover.
Yeah, French a little bit too, a touch. It's
For
like,
sure.
Molto bono, bieno.
Bien.
Bien, yeah, it's like they're all like good.
Bueno.
Bueno. Yeah, so they're all kind of the same, but they would always be yelling at each other. And I was like, what are you guys talking about?
Well, my experience of that culture is that they're passion based.
Yeah, very passionate.
And that's cool. I agree with them. We should be doing business just because we like each other. And there's a bunch of rules and regulations, but yeah, we're not going to follow them unless we really have to, right? So
Yeah.
Are you talking about in Italy?
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I got paid in a brown paper bag, just a stack of cash every Friday, like it was salami.
That's hilarious.
Like somebody just passed me this bag, and I was like, cool.
That would have been so funny.
Because you didn't have a permit, you were just getting paid under the table.
Yeah, it was just like
And you taught the people that were going to kick you out.
that would have technically busted me. Yeah.
Did they know?
Well, I didn't know that I probably thought somewhere on the line, yeah, I need a work permit. But then when I'm actually going to the Ministero del Lavoro, oh, I have to be there at 4:00. So you're in a rush. You got to take the subway and wear proper shoes and, all this type of stuff. So you're not actually thinking like, oh, that's the Ministry of Work. And maybe I shouldn't tell them all I'm Canadian again today, but I did, and they're like obsessed with certain things. They were like, say Saskatchewan again. I'm like, oh my. I'm like, it is the least exciting place in Canada, but okay, Saskatchewan.
That's such a beautiful word.
They loved it, yeah.
Well, that's hilarious. So then
They
this
ate it up.
is you said your 20s.
Yeah, so maybe this is 2002. I go to work in London first, get my working holiday maker, and then I discover people want to learn English, and it's an awesome skill to have. And I'm working in this restaurant, and people are bringing me their homework. Like, Jennifer, can you fill this out? And I was like, of course I can fill it out. Like, it's like when, how, who, cat, but I'm helping them, right? And
like,
so then I
can't
get a
pay for
lot
this.
more people asking me, and I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. And then I come home and I did that TESOL course for like $400.
Yeah.
It was on a weekend. And then I was hired, like instantly. I went to Italy not really caring if I would get a job, but I did get a job. And I went to 3 interviews and they offered me a job.
Just right on the spot.
Right on the spot. I didn't think that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Then I actually went back, like the lady she's like, well, what did they offer you? And I didn't really know that I was negotiating at the time. I was like, oh, I don't know, this much. And she goes, hold on. And she comes back and she's like, we're gonna offer you more. And I was like, oh, cool.
You didn't even know you were in a negotiation there.
I didn't know anything about negotiation back then, right? I was just like, okay, I want to be done with this interview so I can get on with my day.
And then you go back and say, I'm going to have to quit because someone else offered me more money. And be like, how much did they offer you?
Right? It was not, it was
like
not strategy at the time. It really wasn't. I was innocent. But I did end up working there, and they were a really fun company, and it was an amazing experience. And then I got to learn Italian. Not that I speak Italian ever. Like, I speak Italian at the Italian Center shop. That's about it. I don't really engage.
How many languages you know now?
I'm 3, but
Spanish, English.
I speak Spanish really, really well because I go to a Spanish-speaking country every single year, and I go to a new country. That's my mandate.
New country
so you go to
every
South
year.
America every year.
Yeah, South America, Central America, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I did a cruise this year, so we did Puerto Rico, and we did, what's right beside Haiti? Dominican Republic, and then we did, Bahamas. So I was always...
Bahamas
And-
is not Spanish, though.
I know Bahamas is not Spanish.
Is that
but
French?
Cuba is.
No, they speak. What do they speak in Bahamas?
They speak English.
No.
English.
They got
It's
like
broken English.
Oh, for
but
sure they have their Bahamian...
Bohemian.
No, it's not Bohemian.
Bohemian,
Is it
not
Bohemian?
Bohemian, no.
Bohemian.
No, it's not Bohemian.
They're
man.
called Bohemians.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they're called the Bohemians. I was just there.
In the Bahamas?
In the
Yeah.
Bahamas? Are you sure?
Yeah, the Bohemians.
That sounds odd to me.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Bohemians over there. It doesn't sound right. Baja? I don't know.
Baja Peninsula, that's Mexico.
Yeah, now I'm just sounding like an idiot. Yeah. Okay, Bohemians, sure.
I think that's what they called them. They called him when I was there. Like, that's like a lying question because he's Bohemian.
Oh,
Bohemian, like B-A-H from the Bahamas, not Bohemian. B-A-H.
Not Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian, yes,
Bohemian,
I'll go
yeah.
with that.
Yeah, I could go with that.
I'll
Not
go with that.
Bohemian.
Bohemian is a different word altogether.
It's a different word altogether. Maybe
I don't know.
Bohemian.
We'd have to say. I don't know.
We'd have to Google it.
We'd have to
Yeah,
figure it out. I'm not from there, so I don't know.
Yeah,
they
but-
would say Bohemians. So.
Okay, I guess so. So then you're doing one country. Is that what sparked you doing one country a year, as well as if you're doing one country a year? I know you got some crazy stories. So
Yeah.
I could see you, and you've been through a lot or done a lot, or like there's a story behind you somewhere.
There's a story behind me somewhere.
Yeah, there's a story there. Like you've done some crazy stuff. I could see.
I just love traveling. I don't even know why, but I'm so stimulated by culture. I still am.
Yeah.
Like I've been helping a lot of Spanish speaking clients because I speak Spanish, right? And to me, that demographic is so underserviced in Canada. It's ridiculous. Because if we lived in the States and you walked into TD Bank or Scotia Bank, guess what? There's advertising in Spanish in that bank. Like, I guarantee it.
No, there is. Yeah, it's wild, actually.
It's wild, but we're still not doing that. So a
Like
lot
where in the States?
Pretty much
in
everywhere.
Canada, we're not doing
No,
it.
but the States, Spanish is a second language.
I know, but I'm telling you, this demographic of people that are speaking Spanish, they have amazing jobs, they have amazing credit, and sometimes they have a lot of money saved up, and they don't know how to buy a house. Nobody's ever talked to them about it because they're ignored in the bank.
Wild. So you've niched into that.
Big time.
Crazy.
You think they're ignored in the bank? I almost think like it's just from going to South America and being South American, I just find that the aspirations are not as high.
Okay, so maybe it's an aspiration thing. I don't know.
Like, because you just like, you're okay. You're like, yeah, I'm content. I'm good. You know, like,
Yeah.
as opposed to like some people are like, I need a house, I need this, I need a car, I need all these materialistic things. And
Yeah.
most Spaniards I find are just like chill,
Laid back,
Okay,
chill.
I'm okay with what I got. I'm okay.
But
with
the
just surviving.
States is making a ton of money off of the Latin demographic, like a ton.
Oh yeah, because they're the working class.
Because they're the working class,
Yeah.
right? Because they buy cars, they buy houses, they make their
Consumerism,
payments,
yeah.
they make their payments, and they love their families. They buy their families ridiculous toys, the motorized Cadillac cars. You know what I mean, right?
The little electronic.
Oh,
Little
the little
electronic-
tiny electric for the kids, right?
They sell that in the grocery stores in Mexico. You can
Wild.
buy a toy, a moving car, small car thing for your kid in the grocery stores in Mexico.
Well, there's that whole thing with Mexicans in California. They have the whole culture of lowriders. Like, that's a thing. Like, lowriders is a full-on culture where they
With
put
the hydraulics.
They put the hydraulics
Oh,
and the
yeah,
big,
yeah.
the really big Daytona spokes on it, and they bounce their cars around. Like, that's like
Yeah.
a thing, and like people like grow up around that. So I could actually see, and it's like a lifestyle. Like, it's like how big white dudes build chopper bikes, like, those with the handlebars and stuff. They're kind of like that, but with their lowrider cars. And there's different styles of them, I believe, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's like the white guy there's the white guy lowrider, there's the Mexican lowrider, these black guys got their like, there's all sorts of different types. But
And then they have competition over who can jump the
who
highest.
can bounce higher and stuff. It's like cultures going against each other with these cars. It's pretty crazy. But I could see why they would do that in Mexico. Get the kids started young on their cars because they probably see their parents or their uncle or their
Yeah.
older brother with one, so they want one as a little kid. But yeah, that's
I think
a lot
that
of money.
what the common denominator in Latin culture is that they really do know how to enjoy their lives, right? Mm-hmm. They're good. They're really good. They're alive, big time.
Which country did you like the most down in South America? Like, they're all probably different. Like I know.
I really like Nicaragua because of the architecture. I really was impressed.
Yeah.
I like Costa Rica. They're grabbing onto that health and wellness industry. I honestly loved Honduras. Like, Bocas del Toro is better than Costa Rica all day long.
I've never been.
10 times
Do
cheaper.
you go stay on the resorts though, or do you actually like go and?
I
explore?
high low it. So I go stay one night and, oh my God, I have air conditioning, and I feel that how awesome the sheets are, and then I was like, but nobody's talking to me, and I'm in a $225 a night hotel, which is cool because I can afford it finally in my life. There was 20 years I couldn't afford it, right? So
Yeah.
I go and I experience, I'm like, oh, it's kind of nice that somebody carried my luggage here for me. Oh, it's kind of nice that I have a TV, or, oh, I have a bathroom and a shower. And then I'm bored, right? So, and then I go back to that hostel that's $60 a night, and I have 25 friends in the kitchen, and I have, you know what I mean? And like, I've slept in Miami, I've slept in rooms with 100 people,
100-person hostel?
100-person hostel, and I paid 80 or 90 bucks.
You've seen some shit then, because hostels are a fucked up like 100 people. I've been in a 30-room hostel, and that
dealt
was
with
like
some really
I've
weird
dealt with
hostel stuff.
I sleep right through it. I
Wow.
0.0 care about anything going on that's not in my bunk bed. You do whatever you want on your side of the world there, yeah.
right beside you in your side of the
Oh,
world.
I could care less.
Oh, jeez, you're
I
wild.
could care less. No, I could care less. Yeah, do your thing. I'm a deep sleeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, that'll test your metal. I don't know how you did that, but I mean, everybody's
You
different.
just don't care. Like, in order to be like that, you have to be like, I'm safe, whatever.
I am
here."
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am safe.
Just a bunch of people doing what they're doing over there. It's fine. They're not
That's
going to
right.
hurt
We're
me.
travelers.
Yeah, we're just
we're all on a common budget.
I guess, eh?
We're on a similar mandate. We want to see the world, right?
Yeah. It was just, that's, I just have a flashback of crazy memories. That's wild. Miami in a hostel.
I lived in Amsterdam too, and I lived in a hostel.
Amsterdam was beautiful.
I could see that happening.
I really loved
Yep.
Amsterdam.
It's nice.
It was super, super cool. Like that.
So I worked in the Flying Pig. Do you remember that place?
Where was that one?
Right in the main area there, but it was a nice hostel.
So like in the main area, they had that little square. They
Yeah.
had like the ATM machine, and then they cut off into like almost like an H. Like you had like a row of bars that went down this
Yes.
alley, and you had a whole bunch going down that alley, and then you could come back to the square and go to the other one.
So it's very close to that square, very close to that
Yeah.
center.
Yeah.
I could see living in a hostel. If it's nice, it actually is kind of doable. You know?
Yeah.
And if you're in like
But
a
it was 8 of
four-person
us in one
eight,
bedroom.
You become friends though, and it's kind of cool actually.
You do. You share the bathroom. We only worked 4-hour shifts.
Yeah.
We all smoked a joint before our shift with our boss, which was crazy.
That's hilarious.
She was a woman,
Yeah.
and she was awesome, and yeah, that was part of the, and you rotated positions. So there was, let's say, 8 positions. So one day you worked reception, one day you worked
Like
changing laundry, one day you stocked the bar, one day you did
general maintenance or something.
general
yeah.
maintenance, housekeeping, all these things. So then you did everybody's job. So then you had increased empathy when you're on the job site, and then you were more resourceful too. You're like, oh wait a minute, I know how to do that, and you didn't have to call someone to, hey, can you go do this, and that. You're like, no, there's the button, do it now.
Wow, I think that's a smart way to run a business.
Big
Actually,
time.
hostels are a crazy way to run a business because their labor is almost nothing because they get the travelers to work there for them.
Yep.
And labor in most businesses are
Like labor costs. It's not like
Labor-
labor is
yeah.
nothing. Like labor costs.
labor cost is pretty much null and void except for maybe the manager. But like, were you getting paid if you don't
We
mind us
got
asking?
paid a little bit, but
You're just thankful for it. And
yeah,
a room to
it
stay.
was like go buy a pair of shoes this week, or go buy a fun jacket, or
Yeah.
and
But
yeah,
you got to stay there for free?
stay there for free. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you trade time, you trade the labor for it. So essentially, they're giving up rooms or beds like they could make money with for people that are working there.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But yeah,
And I was
50 bucks a
introduced-
bed or 30 bucks a bed.
or
Yeah.
20 bucks an hour labor is like what's better, you know? Like,
Yeah.
These people are working 4-hour shifts, so $50 bed or $80 labored, you know?
Yeah.
Save the $80 labored and keep.
And then the
$30.
people that I met there, I went to Israel for free because I stayed at my friend's house in Israel, and then I wanted to go to Ireland, and I had a friend that I could stay with in Ireland for a couple of days. So then it was even cheaper traveling those days, right?
Wow, do you still keep in contact with your friends that you've met over the years? Like
I do.
a little
yeah.
bit? You check in with them every now and then?
I do, yeah.
That's a really cool feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. Some of us has changed, some of us haven't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's cool to see the people because when you're traveling, you're in like a certain period of your life, I'd say, or like
You're in a shared experience.
you're in a shared experience that
at
only
the time.
those people kind of know about. Like when you're in the
Right.
hostel and you're staying there with 8 other girls, or if it's mixed one, whatever. But like you're all working, you're all kind of in a similar situation in life where like you're not able to do the $300 a night thing. The reason why everyone's in the $30 a night hostel is because that's where they are in their life, right?
Yeah.
They just want to see the world. So it's cool having that shared experience with people, and then seeing them later on in life, probably primarily through Facebook and stuff. But it's cool to keep in contact
Yeah,
with those guys.
Facebook is huge.
Yeah, Facebook's really cool for that.
I like it because you get to be in touch with them without being in touch with them, really, right?
Yeah. I got people that still phone me up from days that I was traveling, and it's really cool to keep in contact with them. And one day I'll hopefully get back out to see these guys, which would be like a little reunion, you know?
Jeez, I just finished watching the Social.
Social, you watch Social Network?
I just watched the Social Network. The whole thing about they took the idea from like, literally Facebook was called.
Facebook?
No.
Oh, Hard or Not?
Was what the is what the schools called their archives, their inventory of faces. So it was called a Facebook because they had all of the pictures
Yep.
of just the faces from your like, you know how you have your
Your
yearbook. Your yearbook is just faces, and
Yep.
that's what it was. It was just Facebook. That's what it was like. Oh, I got to download their Facebook. I had to download their Facebook, and then it was called the Facebook,
Right.
right? And then they said drop the, and it just turned into Facebook.
So why are we so attracted to following other people's lives without legitimately following them? Or is it secretive, or is it just social bonding? Is it just what we like as humans?
What do you mean?
Well,
Like on-
why are we so attracted to that Facebook?
I don't know. Why are we not making phone calls anymore and just sending a text where you don't have to engage as much?
I still call. If I really want, if someone doesn't respond to my text, I will definitely call.
Yeah, I like calling too, but like only certain people, I guess.
I'm a phoner.
I phone.
Are you
I
a
like
caller?
to call people and say, hey, what's up? What's going on? But then there's some people you just want a quick answer. You just send them a text and say, yeah, just send me whatever. You know, I don't
think
want to
it's-
get into a full conversation over this thing.
Yeah, we're getting. Well, sometimes if it's like a business text, it's like real quick, and I know they got the message. It's like, hey, I texted you, and then there's proof. Other, you know, when like you have the proof that message was sent. It's like sometimes people BS you, and they're like, I phoned you, and you're like, I didn't get the call. It's like, yeah, you did.
I don't remember having that conversation.
Yeah, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
At least you have a paper
I'd be
trail.
like, what do you mean you don't remember having a conversation? We were on the call together. You said, yeah, sure, got it. I'm like, were you just not listening to me?
Yes.
Text has a paper trail.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes I won't text. I'm like, I don't want no paper trail on this one. Let's phone this one up, right? Like, even I'll do it like an in person and like let's meet up away from even our phones. So it's not recorded
even the
at all.
worst, the emails are like that too. Like where people like covering their asses on emails.
Yeah.
Like their corporate, I'm just like, yo, man, like how many threads do we need to go through this thing? And
You know
how
what?
many people need to be CC'd on this message?
Right?
Like who's, like you're just covering your ass at this point. It's just like, oh, that wasn't my fault.
Or you're redelegating work that you don't want.
Yeah.
So you CC it to somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's just like, and
I've
you
never
try
done that
calling them.
before.
And you
I've
try
done
calling
that.
people and they just don't want to talk to you because they want everything to have a record. And you're just like, what?
I missed a listing appointment because we only communicated in email. And I went back at the thread. It was like 21 emails deep. And I just thought about it. I was like, you know what? I actually don't want you as a client.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, you're not willing to communicate with me in any way, shape, or form
Other
except for
than
this
email?
gigantic long email. I'm good. You're not a real human to me, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to represent you. I'm not going to be in your best
Well, not
interest.
in a bad thing. It's just that like we're just not on the right same page. It's just like,
If you're gonna do business with someone, the face to face, they call it belly to belly, right? Belly to belly is the best.
Yeah.
I'd say that's my.
Yeah.
because then you got both have skin in the game,
yeah.
kind of thing. Like you both have skin in the game, and it's just like. you
And
watch
bottom
them working
line, do I
together.
like you?
Yeah,
Back to those Italians, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Do I like you?
That's crazy.
That's a stage one.
Well, you're helping them. Like if you don't like
Big
them, why are you
time.
helping them? It's
I've-
the people that are like end up getting caught up in that rat race where they're doing stuff just for money, and I'm just like, yo, man, like why are
No.
you even doing that?
You'll burn out. You'll burn out your reserves.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Do you only work with people that you like?
Seriously, I do.
And do you think you learned? That's really cool. Did you think you learned that from primarily that time in Rome?
No, because there's a lot of other seminars I've taken. Like, so stage one of doing business is, do you like me and do you trust me? And
Okay.
that's it.
Yeah.
We can go from there.
Is this your stage one? Your stage one, or is this stage one in general? Do you think?
My stage one, but it's theories that have been taught that
Yeah.
are, you go to these seminars and stuff like that. And
That makes sense. Like if you can build up to trust and rapport.
That's right.
It's all just
Everything.
about building rapport, and then after that, I
Everything.
can sell you whatever I want because
Yeah.
you trust me.
And I know that I cannot give anyone my opinion or information until I have rapport.
Yeah.
And I've done it where I'm like, hey, I think this, that. And it's like, I don't have the string. I am zero to you. And that's cool. I'll walk away and I'll rebuild this string. Until I have the string, we have nothing.
Yeah.
I'm very aware of that.
Wow.
And sometimes I get the string quickly and sometimes I don't. And sometimes we just don't connect, right? That's just reality.
Yeah. You're not gonna like everybody, and they're not gonna like you.
It's hard because like your business, you're dealing with a lot of different people. I got out of the consumer game. Like I don't like the consumer game, in a sense that like you're just dealing with so many different personalities all the time. It's hard
It's
to
tough.
like, it's hard to connect without having to change who you are.
You become
know.
a chameleon. Do you find you a chameleon a little bit in some capacity?
I'm a chameleon, but I'm also authentic.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I'm fake, you're going to pick that up and you're going to feel it. And I don't want to be fake, right? So, can I like you even though we don't like the same things? Of course. You have kids, I don't have kids, or, your kids are screaming in the background and, woo, that doesn't happen at my house. But, but
That's hilarious.
cool, right?
Yeah.
That's your life and that's your life. Just because we're different doesn't mean I'm not going to connect with you and appreciate you and all that.
Yeah. Do you think you got to wear many hats then in your line of work, as well?
I think you wear a lot of hats, yeah. I
Yeah.
think I've been a counselor. My last client, I'm like, I'm basically a counselor to this woman.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like chameleon count. Like
Yeah.
you probably end up in these situations where it's like you got to do a bunch of little other little things that aren't really technically a part of it, but it's like still a part
It's
of
the
it.
same thing I had to do with like personal training. Like that's how we kind of met through
the gym,
through World Health Club. And,
Oh, so were you training? Were you a trainer?
She was just a member there, but
Oh.
like we were. No, you work in.
No, I worked at the juice bar.
She was in the juice bar. You bought
Yeah.
the juice bar, didn't you? Or
No, I didn't buy the juice bar. I was opening up my own business, and I was going to an entrepreneur course.
who bought the juice bar? It was Shane bought the juice bar.
Yeah, Desiree owned it first.
Yeah.
And then actually my girlfriend Cindy Storm started that Moose Juice, by the way.
Yeah.
And I met her years later. I met her like 10 years later. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I used to make myself a $30 smoothie when I was back in the day working behind the till. I really did. I maxed that. We were like, you're allowed one smoothie a shift. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'm here
hilarious.
all day. I'm eating as many smoothies as I want.
I used to.
That was
when
a fun time, man. That was
It
a real
was fun.
That was a fun time.
We talk about that often because the Center Club doesn't exist anymore in Edmonton. And yes, we were there to exercise, sort of, but we were there to socialize.
What's the Center Club?
It was
Yeah.
The
right
the
downtown.
downstairs.
Yep.
Yeah, so the World
Downtown,
Health
World
Club
Health
downstairs,
Club.
like it
Down the
was,
stairs. I love that one.
It
That
was
one was
it was
cool.
like a little had a little bar area.
Mm-hmm.
People would play squash and hang out, and like it was a social club.
It was fantastic.
Over a gym.
Over a gym.
I mean, you wore
You'd
your
work out,
exercise
yeah.
clothes.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
You worked out, hopefully,
You
a
went
little
to
bit.
the gym, you worked out in the other room, and then you came and hung out at the juice
Yeah.
bar, watched some people play some squash, and then after you played squash, you grabbed some beers. And
So
you
everyone was just
drink a
bullshitting
bit.
down
They're
there.
just bullshitting the whole
It was
time,
awesome.
just hanging out.
And it went under. And it went under.
It got replaced. It got replaced.
What's in there now? That was a cool spot.
They
I
moved
worked
it.
out there
Stantec
once.
bought the whole building, I think.
And then they kicked them out, so now World Health Club moved to the mall. So now they're in the.
And then once it
Center,
moved
yeah.
to the mall, it was
It's
so
not the same.
boring. It was so
Yeah.
dumb. Like, why are we in a mall right now?
Yeah.
I want to go work out. No, I don't. I want to shop.
I want to hang out. Yeah, or
Yeah.
I want to hang out. Like
That
you know, like-
downstairs one was cool. You go down the stairs. That was dope. That was really cool.
yeah, you were downstairs and you were in the club.
You felt like you were
you're
in
the
it, yeah.
club. Like I'm in the club, man. Like what's going on? What's happening? Everyone was like, it was a blast. Like that was probably one of the best times ever. Like like a lot of the friends that I made while we were working there are still friends today. Like
That's cool. I wonder what the type of networking that went on down there. Probably a decent amount, hey? You think?
I
or-
wasn't really a business owner yet at that point, so I didn't even understand business. I didn't understand connection. I didn't really understand anything. But there were some hardcore networkers for sure. Like I bet you all the commercial realtors were down there, tons of lawyers, tons of accountants, like tons of people that can all service the same type of client, right?
And they would just say, let's go play some squash. So
Yeah.
you grab a guy, you play some squash, and you play some squash together. You shoot the shit. You talk a little bit of business.
have 6 beers and
have
then
some 6 beers afterwards and close the deal. You know, like that was what they did. Like that's how it was. You know, so and like we were the trainers. Like us trainers would just like hang out with these like rich people and like exercise
and learn from
and
them and learn from them,
and
right?
learn from them and have a good time.
It was
and-
awesome. I think that's when I fell in love with entrepreneurs for sure, because I saw that entrepreneurs are charismatic, powerful, they're individuals, they're unique, they're running their own show, they're writing their own rules, right? And I really identified with that. I really was like, you know what, I'm not a rebel, but I'm also not a follower. And I didn't know where I fit in society really, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was my first influence into entrepreneurialism.
So how did you get into real estate? Because like I'm looking to get into real estate myself, like more on the investing side of everything.
Okay.
Like flipping and things like that, because like I think that would be pretty cool. But
Yeah.
how did you get into it?
I totally got into it by accident. I was taking a personal development course, and I knew this girl, and she posted on Facebook that her father had passed away, and it was very sudden. He had a heart attack. So I was in this personal development course where we were rehearsing, how can I help you? What do you need? What do you need? What do you
Yeah.
need? What do you need? What do you need? And you would ask, in this room full of people, you would ask that person what they need like 50 times.
Oh, it was one of those. Jeez.
And it was
I've done that before. And
That's
you
like
just hammer
going.
it.
That's like
You hammer
going
through
straight
it.
to Egypt and be
Because
like, "Can I help you? Can I go to Cuba?"
you get to your core thing, right? You're like, oh, I need water. Oh, I need to change my clothes. Oh, the temperature's not right. And you're like, no, I need a relationship that works. You know, like,
And people start crying. Yeah, I bet.
right?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So I was familiar with this exercise, familiar with this girl, and I really just called her up and I said, what do you need? And she's like, I honestly need someone to come to this show home right now in the next 20 minutes, and I'll pay you $20 an hour. And I was like, done. I was running my own business. I skimmed my own till. I didn't have a salary. So $20 an hour was like, woo! So I go there, start working, and it was the bus, right? So it was 2008. So Landmark was the company we were working for, and they gave us all salaries because they were all worried that we were going to die or something, right? And yeah, because people were walking away because they were so used to making so much money just doing kind of nothing in 06, 07, because like
It was just easy work.
it was, you just sign papers and it's like, oh, you made 40 grand last week because the house, but we were coming in when it was going like this. So the conversations were very different.
What do you mean you just made 40 grand last week? Like you bought?
Because
Like, let's say-
when the house went up,
You bought for 320. Oh, we're selling that same house today for 360 because it was like that. It was like a 300% incline for almost 190 days, right? It happens every 25 years. Don't worry, you're not going to see it again probably in your lifetime.
Yeah.
But like there's mini booms, right? So that was an actual boom cycle. So
Yeah, you had 5 houses at one point, I remember.
did I have 5 houses?
I remember you were like, I got 5 mortgages I got to deal with. I'm stressed because you had to keep the renters in the things. You're running 5 of them at one time. I specifically remember you telling me, I'm like, you're floating 5 houses.
But I have friends that are doing 10, 20, and 30, right? So my 5 is like chicken scratch, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
There's always the next level.
Yeah. And you get trapped too, right? So
Like where the banks won't help you out anymore?
that's right. You get trapped at 5 and you get trapped at 10 because we used to have assumables. So a lot of people acquire them through assumables. A lot of people are just picking up properties and saying, hey, you're not renting, but we can Airbnb it. So it's like a third party Airbnb company coming in and doing all the actual work.
This guy.
Like staging, right? And doing the photos, doing the actual
Is
management.
that the workaround? That's kind of the workaround?
We call it arbitrage, so you don't own the asset actually, but you as a company go ahead and make money with the asset, but the original person stays on title, and you basically do like a joint venture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with how that goes down.
So my girlfriend that ended up working for, her father died, she went away, and then we sold lots of houses. I want to say we sold 50 houses in that year together, and we had an unattainable bonus structure that we both reached.
50 houses in a year?
Yeah.
You guys are psycho. That's wild.
It's one a week.
Yeah, it's literally one house a week. That's unheard of now.
You're just closing them. You must have.
But
But
they
you
were
were doing the
easy.
Landmark ones.
Yeah, I was
so
doing
you
Landmark.
so you had like a huge inventory.
Oh,
of
We had
houses.
unlimited
huge
amount of leads.
inventory.
Yeah.
We had amazing specs. We had first of all, it's first time home buyer product, so it's like that 3 to 450. Everybody was buying it. Everybody qualifies. It's nice. It's got granite.
Place.
And they get bonuses too. They got
Yeah.
that's wild actually. Yeah.
We got our bonuses, so that was huge too.
Well, for the new home, not bonuses, but for the new time home buyer, your
You have a
percent
discount.
down's less, and it's like they're incentives, right?
The bank
It's-
incentives were like you can get like houses for 5% down, and they were even doing 0% down at some point.
They were doing 0%, yeah.
like it's 0 when you're 0%. All you have to do is say, "Yo, man."
I'll take the house. Like,
I'll get you a house,
that's
no
why
problem.
people were just signing paper and just like get them out.
Well, and
Not to discount you at all. Not to discount it.
no, but that was 06, 07. That was easy street. 08
Yeah.
was a bit harder. You had to have some really, because here's the reverse. Somebody paid $420 for their house, and now we're selling it for $380. Whoops. And
Yeah.
your house still isn't even done. Whoops. You signed those papers, so you're in at $420 whether you like it or not.
Oh, that's tough. I'm a lot of mad
Well, you know,
people.
we got nailed the other way around, where it was just like you signed in at whatever it was, like 160, 170, but then the thing was going up like this, and they just fucking wanted to tear up the papers and
That's
say,
right,
"Here's."
because they didn't want to finish the contract. Yeah.
They said, you know what? Because the house now is worth 210, and you signed in at 160.
They gave the deposits
Here's
back.
your deposit back.
Which
Here's your
they have the
contract."
right to do.
And you're just like, what the fuck? I'm just like, yeah. So you gave them the money to basically take out a loan to build the building, and now
Yeah.
that they built the building, the units are worth more. That they say, oh, here's
That's
your
kind of
money back.
greedy, actually.
It's greedy.
That's like
But that's developers. The developers, they control the show, they control the prices, and they do what's called draw mortgages. So they have to sell 30% of the building, and they get their first draw of money.
Yeah.
Then they sell 60% of the building, then they get their next draw of money.
They usually pull out all their money within 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah, and the corporation can dissolve overnight. So I mean, it is high risk stuff, really.
With developing
least you-
or
Well, they do
or-
that they do that on purpose though. They'll dissolve. They'll be like, oh,
Well, because they
have
want to
holding
dissolve their
accounts.
liability, yes.
Yeah, they want to get
But,
rid of the liability.
like that building on 142nd Street in Stony Plain Road, like that's gotten through 3 ownerships.
That was a
Well, that
wild
was-
situation.
but
Wasn't
that-
that Russian guy?
That's-
I don't
so
even
the
know. I don't
Russian
even think we
guy-
should talk about it. I don't want to. I don't want to end up
In a
a statistic.
basement?
Yeah.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be in the cement building.
Yeah, I don't want to be. I don't want to be a pillar. I don't want to
But
be
yeah,
a pillar.
but,
in
But the guy
building.
that picked it up, he honored everybody's deposits, which by law he didn't have to do.
Yeah, so Beaver
Wow.
Brick, he said he basically said, listen, we know that you're dealing with this problem for a long time. We're
Yep.
gonna build it.
Yep.
You can either stay or you can take your money back.
Yep. So he gave both options, which is really nice, right? But he got a ton of free publicity for that too, as well. But he didn't have to do that.
No, and he got that place for cheap though too, because the bank was just like, we're stuck with this building. That
This hole in the ground in this half concrete structure.
Yeah,
now it's
someone
going up.
needs
Is it
to
going to
do
be
it.
nice? Do you
Oh, it
think?
looks nice.
Does it? Hey, yeah.
Looks nice.
I don't know if it's going to be nice. I haven't seen
We don't know,
any
yeah.
of the specs. I haven't
Well, I've been
seen-
driving by it all the time. I see it. It looks nice. Like it looks like it's gonna be like a really nice place.
Yeah, but
And,
like
realis-
looking on the outside is different than like, oh yeah, this is some shoddy workmanship on the
well,
inside.
no, but
like,
but Beaver Brook
But what's your
doesn't do-
definition of really nice? Because you guys live in a historic building.
Hey, we
Nice?
we live in a crappy
it's
unit.
kind of run
It's kinda
down
running
and
down.
gross.
It's
The whole
old,
thing's
it's
dirty.
old. The whole thing's dirty. It's
No,
not
it's
even
gross.
nice. Not
Wow,
Just
I love
chalk
your
on the wall.
lobby. I love your chandeliers. I love your ceilings. Like,
This terrible place.
It's a horrible place.
I
I,
hate
don't know
going
why
there
you
every
even
day.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
It's the worst.
It's a
grossest-
hole in the ground. It's
a
the
hole,
only
yeah.
thing we can afford.
Yeah, it's dirty. It's actually the worst. Yeah, yeah. It's terrible views. Everything's awful. The people there are just rude. Actually, a little. There's like famous people that live there. It's funny.
who lives there?
There's a guy that lives next door to us. I'm just like, this is the weirdest thing. I was just like, oh, so he was like, it's like, oh yeah, I was just at a UN meeting. I'm like, oh, what are you doing at the UN? Oh, I'm part of the nuclear disarmament board. And I'm like,
Right?
what? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, you're part of the nuclear disarmament? I'm like, yeah, we had a meeting the other day. I'm just like, what? Who
Isn't that
are
cool?
you?
Yeah, we're getting him. He's going to be on the hot seat.
He's gonna be
here.
on the hot seat.
We
We
got to
gotta
get
put him
him. Actually, though.
And that's your neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay, so kudos to talking to your neighbor. That was a good stage 1,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, rapport.
Rapport.
Yeah. Okay, so you have stages, and before the episode, you've spent X amount of dollars on your personal self-development and
Yeah.
personal growth via seminars, books, courses.
Yeah, I started in about 2005 and I did an entrepreneur course for 10 weeks. That was about 10 grand. I did another entrepreneur course. That was about 10 grand. I've done Tony Robbins. I've done Deepak Chopra. I did
You
personal
did
best.
that whole weekend with Tony Robbins?
I have done the firewalking with Tony Robbins in New York.
You walked on fire?
I did. It
Yeah,
hurts.
there's the walk on fire events.
It hurts.
It's you know what? If you like Tony and if you are down with Tony's ideas, you know, like change your physiology, which is true, right? If
Yeah,
you-
like where you stand up and just like,
Stand up,
and just
scream,
like, let's go.
yeah.
Yeah.
You are screaming and jumping and doing aerobics with Tony Robbins for 4 days. Like it's pricey.
But
Yeah.
but it's true though. Like he's right. Like if I sit around all mopey in this like that,
Yeah.
I'm
That's
just like
true.
you're gonna be in that state. But if you feel like if you get into the power
power, yeah.
position, power Superman
Yeah.
pose, you start to feel more powerful. Like a lot of those things actually work.
I
just
feel-
to change your state.
That's right. So, and if you watch him crack through like a hard person that is stuck, man, he's so good. He is so good. So it makes you believe in, okay, I control my mind, therefore I control my life. You know, he's all back to control your emotional state, control your activities through that emotional state. If you're having a Debbie Downer day, you know, get up, jump, turn on music, right? They literally make you like jump and dance like wild chimpanzee orangutans for like 70% of the day.
I can't do. I'm not a hoorah guy. I've never
And it's-
been like
what
that.
do they
to
call
be
it?
honest.
Charismatics. That's
Well,
what
and
it
it's
is.
like 5,000 people in the room too.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like that. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm not a hoorah
But he's
guy.
so right though. Like everything comes down to a feeling and
Yeah.
emotion. So like if you can learn how to control your
Yes.
emotions, which really comes down to those three things, your emotions are basically 100% controlled by your
thoughts,
beliefs.
Your beliefs.
Your beliefs and
your
your beliefs
thoughts
are
and your
controlled by your
actions.
thoughts. No, it goes the other way around. Your actions are controlled by your feelings.
True.
So when you start to realize those things, what you put inside your brain becomes
This
very,
is the most important real estate in the whole
yeah,
world.
It becomes very, very
Right?
important because like if you're like, okay, I feel really shitty, you think about, okay, well, what do you think about all day? What do you watch? What are you eating? Like, who are you around? Like, what's your environment like?
My
Like,
big thing was comparison.
You
Comparison
compare-
killed me.
compare
And,
yourself to
and
other people?
even in my industry, right? Like I'm walking down White Ave, I'm at the Capo Cafe, and I look, there's some chick that's in my office on a bus bench, and I'm like, boo, and I'm just like, but, and I like her as a person, I totally do. I like all these people as people, but I just think, one day I said this I brought my dad to our Christmas party at our brokerage, and I said, you know what, here's the cool thing. I am not part of this Overachiever Anonymous club. I'm just not. Like, I'm really not. I service 20 clients a year. If I don't like you, I don't work with you. If you don't listen to me, let's not talk. I've learned to do that instead of change who I am all the time to suit person XYZ, because it takes down my energy, right?
It's tiring as hell.
Big time. I'd rather be like, hey, here's my calibration level. If you think like this, feel like this, talk like this, let's connect, right?
Yeah.
Which is probably why we had success back in the day at a health club, right? Because we do care about our health, right? I do care about what I eat. I like that $30 smoothie. It was fun to me. It was better than a pizza.
Yeah.
Right? And today I had a smoothie this morning. I don't know if it was $30, but I...
Probably not. No, that's an expensive ass smoothie.
$30 smoothie?
Yeah.
Oh, but I put everything into it, right?
Yeah, I know.
All the supplements back in the day.
I know,
you could
no.
put... I don't even know what the supplements were popular back then, but...
I used to work in a booster juice, and I don't know what I used to do. I used to stand on the one end of it, and then the one guy would throw fruit, and I'd have the big knife, and I'd go... And then I don't want to say I'm friends with the owner of Booster Juice, but acquaintance with him now. And we talk every now and then when we see each other at like Oilers games, or we'll bump into each other, whatnot. I've done a few events with him. And then, yeah, I told him that story. I was like, hey, so I was like 14. On a little work experience thing, I ruined some bananas in your Crestwood store. Sorry about that.
At least
That's why you
yourself.
asked me if there was a Booster Juice in Crestwood.
Yeah, that's because I used to work there.
used to work there.
Yeah.
It makes sense now.
Yeah, that's why, exactly. I was like, is that Booster Juice still there? No, it went under.
I just love Booster Juice. Me and the guy that I do all the weddings with, we like Booster Juice so much, we actually named a lot of our shots after Booster Juice. So we had the Brazilian Thunder, we had the Pomegranate Punch. We had all of these shots that we knew exactly what they were because we named them off of the Booster Juice.
That's hilarious, actually.
So
Wild.
Yeah, so we're like, hey, should we do a Brazilian Thunder on this one? And goes yeah. So that would be the lens flare kind of shot over the face, and the punch was where the camera punches into the face. So it was called the Pomegranate
These poor
Punch.
clients had no idea what they were in for, hey?
So you did all these personal and self-development. What was the course of this? I know you're always constantly learning, always constantly growing, always constantly developing your awareness and yourself.
Yeah.
When did this first kick in? So you sold those 50 houses with your girlfriend. His father died?
So I went to go be her assistant, and then I got hired, and then I got my own area, and then we sold 50 houses within 2 years. I think we sold. Oh no! Wait a minute. No. So we sold out 3 neighborhoods in total. So we did Terwilliger, we did...
Of Landmark.
Yeah, it was on 17th Street, Tamarack. There was a train track there. That was a hard one. And then we did, up in the north, we did Skyview.
How do you sell the trade track? It's a lovely, it'll put you to sleep and the baby.
You just tell people the truth, and whatever they want, they go ahead and deal with it.
Pretty much. Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, it's kind of fucking loud.
I don't think it's not that bad though, because my buddy bought out there.
They have certain rules, it can't be louder than a certain amount of decibels and all that kind of stuff. But if you're sensitive to the train track, well, then don't buy a house backing onto a train track.
Yeah, but it's probably discounted as well because it's got a train track. Same thing as
you know what? It really
probably
wasn't.
not. No.
Probably
it really
those
wasn't.
houses too that were next to power lines too.
They're
They
not
don't really
discounted,
discount
though.
them, man. No.
They really
They don't
don't.
discount them.
They
for
really
that, no.
don't. Developers are smart.
Why would they discount it? Someone's gonna buy it anyway.
Someone is going to buy
They're
it
gonna be
anyway.
some schmo's gonna go in there anyway, and that's their fault.
Wouldn't the
And they're
value
not
of
well
this go down?
because everybody has different priorities, right? Some people are really sensitive to power lines. Some people are really sensitive to railroad track. Some people grew up next to railroad track. I had this house for sale on 111th Ave, and all the feedback I would get, oh, it's too noisy. Oh, it's my kid is gonna run out in the street. My cat is gonna die. People were so dramatic. And then I get a call, and they want to look at this house, and it's New Year's Day. I'm 5,000% hungover. I do not want to go
Get a tire kicker.
No,
You're
right?
like, fuck that, man.
So I'm on the phone. I'm grilling. I'm like, what do you like about this house? Why do you like it? what time do you want to go there? You know, I'm like, tomorrow. You know, and they're like, oh, we really like that it's on a busy street. And I'm like, you do? And yeah, it reminds us of our hometown. Oh, okay.
Let me take a shower.
Right? I'm like, I'll put some clothes on.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was like, these people want to buy this house. I'm like, all right.
And they big time bought that house. And she said, she goes, I like looking out the window and I like to see busy traffic all the time. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, developers not going to discount a house because it's like that.
Yeah.
They won't do it.
You know what's interesting? Like I was just at a seminar over the weekend, and I went there to go check out to see how good the salesmen are.
Okay.
And they were so good that I ended up
What did
dropping
you-
a bunch of money.
Good.
But
What seminar?
it was at that Will to Win one.
Oh, with that.
Robert Herjavec's
Robert.
guy,
But
yeah.
they
He didn't even show up.
He doesn't show
I know
up,
he
and then
doesn't
the
show
next
up.
guy does the talk, and then they teach the next course, and that guy doesn't even show up, and then you do the like. It's just I know that it's like a thing, but the information.
Okay, so
they
now
were
that you
giving me
spent
was
that money,
like,
you
whoa.
have accountability to produce.
I do. Well, I can get my money back if I can sell something within 3 months. So I have a feeling, like when I was there, I was just like, it made sense to me what he was talking about. Like majority of the people that were in that room were trying to get rich quick, but I was there. I was just like, whoa, I can see what he's talking about. Like I can see it. Like literally,
what did you
he's
see?
selling contracts.
Stevie showed up back to the place. He was like, Cam, you won't believe it. We're all selling houses. And I was like, Stevie, like what happened? He's like, man, I showed up to that thing and we're doing it. I was like, fuck, Steve. I'm like, you're that guy. Like,
You're that guy. Yeah,
Well,
you bought Hope, but guess
No,
what?
no.
Hope is the number one selling product.
Do you know what I really liked
I know,
about him?
it's
Is
too funny.
you know what he was actually selling, which I actually really appreciated,
Hmm.
was the contracts. Like how he makes money. One is off the courses, but two is by selling the contracts.
Right. So
by
you
selling the
get
deals.
a good deal under contract and you flip it to somebody else. Yes.
Yeah, and I was just like,
You might like it.
I was like, I could do that.
weird little niche. That's what.
That's a
What?
sick little niche because then I don't ever have to touch the house.
I can introduce you to a ton of people that do that.
Yeah,
Like a
and
ton.
I'm just like, you make 10 G's, boom, just doing that. There
Yeah,
you go, done.
There's about a
Done.
100 person club in Edmonton, and you can find them. I'll tell you what meetup groups. There's all kinds of real estate groups where they meet once a month and they talk about this stuff, and it's cool. There are
Yeah.
people that really enjoy it, really like it.
I think I would really enjoy that because I would never have to show a house and never. So that was what I liked. I liked the idea of. Well, I already have rental property, so I already know how to do that. It's just a matter of like now you can get property with investor money.
Do you like improving things?
You're talking flipping.
Yeah, because I mean, housing is.
Then I'd still have to like work the thing and get a contractor in there. So I'd have to find a contractor that I would.
That's
really
a full-time
trust.
job, Stevie. When you
It
came
is.
back, like we're selling houses, we're flipping
No,
houses.
but it's a full-time
But
job.
you know what? It's really fun, you guys. If you get the right crew, so
Yeah.
you get an awesome designer, you get an awesome stager, you get someone that is very artsy and fun, and then you guys are the marketing managers of the whole media world. You've got that under control.
Yeah, this
Right?
is the two businesses that you need is you need a business, and the reason why I chose marketing is because once you have the marketing down pat, you can sell anything.
Yeah, we're
sell
all
any-
looking for lead generation, right? Anybody
Everybody
can
is.
sell a house. Anybody
no.
can sell a house. It's how do you get that lead? How do you convert them? And what's in between?
Qualified leads.
Qualified
Too. Yeah, you want
leads, yeah.
qualified leads.
Yeah. So like that's the thing in the real estate, like basically like getting a place for cheap and then like flipping it or having it set up and
There's
putting a
tons
rental
of deals
in there.
out there. There's tons of deals. And there's also tons of garbage, right? It's scary.
You got to sift through it. Yeah.
You have to sit through it. It's basically like digging through a garbage can. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's very time-consuming, I'd say.
It's time consuming, but you learn. And that's, I mean, I've been in this profession for 10 years and I'm still fascinated with it because every day I wake up and it's like, I have a new challenge. Like if I think that I got it, I don't. Something like totally.
Do you think you learned that through experience, or is that through self-development courses, or is that a bit of both?
I think it's a bit of both. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I always, I budget, $5,000 a year to do personal development. And sometimes I'll focus on marketing or relationships or sales or, every year it's something different, but that's definitely built into my budget. And at the end of the day, I've been to so many of these courses, but it's kind of the same message. It really is. And I was totally a course junkie for a long time, I think. I think I still am.
But the biggest thing is what I was like, because like just watching, the guy pulled in like $40,000 in one sitting, and I was like,
Yes.
what?
I know that's
And
how
I
they're
was just
making their
like-
money. They
I'm
don't
like-
care if you do the course or not.
They do
just
not.
They don't give a
like,
shit. They're
I want-
sharks.
Well, they do and they don't. Like so, first, like you.
Well, they need results. They need testimonials.
No, it's not even that. Like you mentioned before, they're what they're doing. What they're really doing is they're qualifying leads. So the first group, the first free seminar was the tire kickers. From the tire kickers, you pull in the medium.
Well, you said 40 people paid $1,000.
No, like 20 people did.
Oh.
The thing was like $2,600.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Right?
20 people did that.
But then
yeah,
you
so-
pull those and
So 52,000.
So you make the thing smaller, and then when you make it smaller, then you offer like the $10,000 clubs, and then you make those even smaller.
Yeah.
So you start to like, and then you qualify your leads, because all of a sudden now you have the tire kicker leads that you just basically throw at, and eventually maybe they'll buy
There's
once.
some people that get really good at it. So if you really want to get good at it, you can.
Yeah, but I really like the guy's sales tactics, because I was like, wow, this was really good. One, they didn't take any questions. They're like, yeah, save your questions to the end, so no one could like rebuttal them.
Right.
And there's certain things that they would do. They would basically like,
Those guys stress me out.
anytime they had like rebuttals, they pulled the rebuttals out right off the hop. Okay, what are some of the reasons that people wouldn't want to buy a house? So everybody says all of the negative stuff right away, and says, okay, let's take those off the table. You're just like, oh, now I have no reason to
Get your opposition out of the way right away.
get them. But he put them all in one. He's like, put them all in one thing, and says, okay, good. Let's get rid of all of those things.
I know.
Good.
Those guys are highly trained
I was
sales
like,
guys.
holy man, like the top of the top sales guys. I was like, these guys are good salesmen. Like they're like,
I know,
like,
they got you.
Well, like I liked, like I really went there, and I was actually taking notes on how they were selling everything, because like I'd like to put a course together in like marketing and things like that. But in order to really do it, you have to kind of run through that whole. You have to run that gamut, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like in order to get a bunch of people.
Don't turn into a cheese ball. Don't turn into an internet cheese ball. Stay authentic.
An internet cheese ball.
There's a bunch of those kicking around these days. I see that as a
Like
saturated market.
they're faking online. They just fake who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, people see through that though too, right? Like that's.
I don't think you'll turn into an internet cheese ball at all. But I do see those. There's people. You're talking course junkies. Do you remember Fight Club? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're kind of like, what was that, Marla Singer? And yeah, they're always going to those little like, you little tourist. Remember he said that? Edward Norton said that to her.
because they were going to the AA seminars, and she was like at a
Testicular cancer.
She was
one?
testicular cancer. Goes, what are you doing here? You're a tourist.
Yeah, you tourist.
You tourist.
Yeah, because he was like super depressed. But there's people that just go to those.
No, but he was
they just
doing
go
the
to
same
those courses.
thing. He
I
was
know,
doing the same
yeah.
thing. That's why he recognized it, because he got addicted to going to those groups and like basically saying that I have testicular cancer. He's just like
Cried in Bob's bitch tits.
yeah,
That's what he did.
and he was just
Cried
like,
in Bob's
he goes,
bitch
what are you
Remember
doing
that?
here? And goes like, what are you doing here? You can't be here.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't even
You don't even have
testicles.
He's like, yeah, so I'm more qualified to be here than you.
That's what her answer was. Yeah, I'm technically more qualified than you because everyone else there had technically.
That was good.
Oh,
But
that's
anyways,
funny.
so we're doing Walk on Fire. What age are we in this one? When you started the self-development journey?
I was probably 28, 29. And so I took a course here that was called Personal Best.
Yeah.
It was the best course I've ever done in my life.
Awesome.
Who did that one?
It's here in the city. It's here in Edmonton. And it's a 4-day course, I want to say. And you work through your beliefs, and you work through, why I do what I do, how can I get different results, what is it going to take, what does it look like? You meditate. They teach you, in that 4 days, they teach you basically like 40 different tools for, controlling your mind, planning, implementing, what is getting in your way, what are your excuses, what are your patterns, really? Then I go to what I call my hippie church, which is the Center for Spiritual Wellness, which I would love to have new, fresh, beautiful blood there.
Oh, geez. Stevie.
Yes, you're both.
Is that where I was at?
You're both invited. Did you come there, the Center for Spiritual Wellness on 101 Ave and 75th Street?
No.
We have a labyrinth on the floor. So do you know what a labyrinth is?
It's a maze?
Yes. So it's an ancient Celtic meditation tool. So you walk through this pathway, and you walk in and you walk out, and it's just a beautiful meditation tool. It's silent, obviously, right? So we offer silent meditation retreats too as well. I did that through Joe Dispenza this year, and that was quite amazing. He's having a lot of success of measuring your brain after meditation. We did a 14-hour silent meditation retreat in the church. We started at 7 in the morning. We went till 9, and we cooked 3 meals together, and we didn't talk. And there was 26 people.
I like that.
We've done a couple of those vows of silence and stuff like
I want to do like a week vow of silence.
It's hard with the work type of work.
It's hard with the type of work we're
I'm always
in.
around
Tough.
people all the time.
Yeah. But you know what? Like shutting my brain off or shutting my stupid, that mouth or the mind and everything, right? Like, oh, I got to explain myself in this moment. I got to talk about how I'm feeling.
Well, our tongue is like the most evil part of our body, right? So we that's all we do is cast spells all day.
That's right. We do cast spells all day.
That's all we do is cast spells. Like that's really all we're doing. So like it's the most evil part of our body. So like if you're technically only supposed to answer in yay or nay. That's all you're really supposed to say. Like I read that and it goes, don't answer anything unless it's yes or no.
Where did you read that?
In the Bible.
Oh.
Like Jesus said one of those things. He's just like, yeah, when you talk.
So yay.
Yay or nay. That's all you're
Yay.
supposed to. Yeah.
I am going to reduce my languaging to yay or nay. I'm going to have the easiest month of my life.
Yeah, that would be an interesting month to see, like an experience to see, like whether
Yay.
you can
Yay.
get it.
Nay.
Because then what ends up happening is
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah.
just felt so authentic right then and there.
Yeah.
Like, nope, don't even feel like explaining why I don't want to do that. But no.
Yeah, you come off like the biggest asshole though, but
Well,
I
like-
kind of like it.
Right?
But the thing is, it's
Nay.
like one.
Nay. Who says nay?
But you know what I'm saying? Like technically, like then you're not talking to people. People are talking to you, so you can actually stay in your vow of silence.
In that grounded moment.
In that grounded moment, and when people ask you a question, you just say no. Yeah. No. Right? Like just literally straight out answer it and kill it.
So back to the juice bar. I meet a girl at the juice bar who I found annoying. And she was always happy and positive. And
I hate that.
I hated her. I hated her because I couldn't figure her out. And I lived in Mexico. I lived in a third world country where you got to move a little quick. Like there's always someone behind you, in front of you, beside you, on top of you. Like you have to be smart in a third world country, especially to make money, and especially stay alive. Like you can't be dumb.
Yeah.
In Canada, you can be dumb.
And still make money. And
365
survive.
days a year, you can be dumb
And not die.
and not die.
Yeah.
But in a third world country, and I lived in Mexico for 2 years, so
If you're dumb, they'll take everything.
you can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't do it. Like you have to be awake, you have to be alert, you have to be active, you have to be watching what's going on around you, and like
All the time.
It's a third world country, like, and there's wealthy people, and there's
People trying to survive. Like they're trying
right.
to survive.
like you don't lose things in Mexico. They have a new ownership,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
right? And you roll with it. Like, oh, I left my jacket at that restaurant. Should I go back? No.
That's gone.
Right?
Yeah, that's gone.
You're just way past that. So anyways, this girl at the juice bar is nice, and she loses her bike. She goes, somebody stole my bike, but I guess somebody else needed it more. And I was like, oh, you are a fruitcake lady. Like, I did not like her. But anyways, she got me into that level 1 personal development course. She gave me a free certificate, and when she gave it to me, I was insulted. I was like, oh, really? I have problems? No. You have problems. Like, I hated her. And
Yeah.
she's my friend today, and she's my coach today, and she's done amazing things. She's heavily involved with her own personal development company. She is a great life coach, and I'm friends with her. But I said the day that I met, or the time that I work with you, I thought you were bananas crazy. I did not like you. But then I slowly started to listen to her. She's like, oh, I take this course, and I can give you a free one, and I'd really love you to go. And I remember, like, I was living with my boyfriend. He was Peruvian. He's Latin. He's like, what are you doing? Are you joining a cult? And I was like, I don't know.
Are you joining a cult?
He big
I don't
time.
know what's going on here.
He
I don't
hated
know.
it.
And then you get on the same frequency level afterwards. You're like, I understand now. I get it.
That's right. And so I do level 1.
Yeah.
I have no money in my bank account, and it's $2,600 to take level 2 and 3. And I go in and I talk to them. And I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't even have a job. I was starting my own business. I just had no money. And I said, yes, I'm going to take this course. And they said, well, how are you going to do it or figure out a way? I said, yep, figure it a way. They financed me for 2 years. I paid $100 a month. It was $2,400. It was $100 a month for 2 years. Like really at 0% financing.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Right.
That was nice.
So to me,
That was $3 a day.
well, what does that really say about that business?
They truly want people
They-
to succeed.
they want
or else
you
they
to-
would have said,
That's
fuck
right.
off.
They want you to transform.
Yeah.
Because if I transform, now I have the possibility of rubbing off of you and transforming. And I have the possibility of rubbing off of
And
you.
telling more people.
And more people will come. It's
not
like a ripple
not the
effect.
telling of the marketing, like the sales part of it. The actual, like, oh, Jennifer Murphy has transformed.
Oh, what did
How
she
did
do?
she,
What did she do?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right?
it's like a ripple effect.
It's a ripple effect. Oh, I met Crazy Pants at the juice bar.
Crazy pants.
Go to her course. sign up for level 2 and 3, even though my boyfriend thinks I'm officially joined a cult. Okay. And God bless him. God bless him, because all he's doing is caring about me.
Yeah.
Right?
And he's
like,
asking questions. That's
yeah,
it.
he's like,
It's
why
just
are you not home? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, don't worry about it. I'm cool. Like, this is going to work.
Yeah.
But I go away for 4 days, like, and then they're 12-hour days. So I'm like, in a seminar, locked in a room like this with 30 people talking about my feelings and my past. And it's not easy. It's not pleasurable.
Yeah.
It's not pleasurable. Right? And so, but I shift. So the next day I go, yeah, I am going to write this business plan. Yeah, I am going to submit it to the BDC. Yeah, I qualify for a loan with Canadian Women in Business, and I had like a 4-month window. But I got my paperwork done in like a day, all of a sudden, right? And then I get a loan. Whoa, I get 30 grand put into my bank account. I probably had $12 in there before that. Like, I had no money. And I took a risk. Was my business successful? No, not really. I'm one of those 9 out of 10 small businesses that failed. But
What was it?
I had a health and wellness company called Heat for Health. So I did those infrared
Oh,
saunas.
I remember that. That was a beautiful
And I did it like
thing.
way too early. Now,
Like it was too early.
Now
I think
everyone's doing it.
now everyone's doing it.
In the
Detox
mall, the little-
is popular.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you
Wow.
were in
I
on something.
I was
like
way early.
you were like, it's the same thing with me with the video stuff. Like I've been in the game for so long now, but like I was in too early that
Yeah.
websites were getting big.
Yeah.
So everyone wanted to website, and I'm just like, hey, I want a video. What do I need a video for? And I'm like, now,
Right.
I'm in a position where I'm like, okay, everybody and their dog needs a video, but now it's easy to everyone shoots on their stupid cell phones.
Right.
And I'm like, now I'm competing with 1 million cell phones. I'm just
Yeah.
like, geez, Louise, I've been doing this for so many years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
wild
the same
how it
thing.
works like that.
But yeah, I remember that you had the infrared.
Yeah, so I did that
infrared-
business.
Infrared saunas.
So same thing. I have, $1,600, maybe $1,800 in my account around that same time period. I've opened my location, but I go to this meeting and they say, who in this room has an idea? I said, I have an idea. And I stand up and I joined this mastermind club at the end. And it was for a year. It was $1,600. But the people that I met in that mastermind club, I'm still friends with good friends with at least 5 of them. They were all business owners. I wasn't a business owner at that time. I was a juice bar girl, but I had friends, I had mentors, I had connections. If I needed a sign person, I had a sign person. I had a graphic artist all of a sudden. I had all of these other business resources and trades and referrals and I didn't go to Grant McEwen and take a business program. I just didn't. I went to all these clubs. And I don't know that that's the right way to do it. I'm not ever saying my way is right or wrong.
It's like the school of hard knocks. I think, you know what though? I would almost prefer it that way instead of going to school, because you come out of school, you still got to go through the hard knocks.
Absolutely.
So you come out, you have education, but you're still going to make the mistakes.
It doesn't teach you being resourcefulness.
No.
Like school doesn't teach you resourcefulness.
Your mic is something.
all being weird.
My mic is being weird? Oh, jeez. What's it doing?
It's like sending it out.
Is it mine or is it his?
It's yours.
It's definitely mine? Okay.
It's definitely yours.
Jeez, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's not going to teach you resourcefulness. It's not going to teach you getting kicked in the teeth. It's not
Or
gonna
reading
teach you-
people.
Yeah.
Or who is going to legitimately finish this job once you fork over the cash.
Yeah, it doesn't teach you that type
Doesn't
of
teach you
stuff.
that.
No, there's a lot it doesn't teach you. But
Right,
there's
it
also
doesn't-
things it teaches you.
Doesn't teach you like, oh, don't pay cash for this equipment, lease it, even though it seems like it's more expensive in the end, just lease it because you need the cash all the time.
The cash flow. And
Cash and the
you
cash
can,
flow.
You can,
Cash
write,
on
and you
hand.
can write off that lease,
That's right.
right? So you can actually put it to work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff. Like for me, I like to own things, though. I don't like to make those.
So yeah, so I pay cash for my cars,
Yeah.
and that's a big mistake too, right? Because you do need that write-off. I'm like, I'm not going to have that depreciating asset.
Yeah, I don't
I'll
buy.
pay for it once.
Yeah, and I don't buy brand new cars. I always buy like my
Never.
cars between $7,000 and $10,000. But then you own it. I'm like, no one can take this away from me.
So my car,
Yeah, they can if you don't register it.
I'll introduce you to my car.
It's
being
true.
honest.
No, it's true. Yeah,
It's true.
the
The
city
government can do it, but the
government-
bank can't.
Yeah, the government.
But
will
anyways,
take it
yeah,
away.
your car.
I'll introduce you to my little car. He's downstairs. His name is Tommy.
I liked him.
He's cute, hey?
Yeah.
So that was my very first commission check. I blew the whole thing.
Nice.
And I wanted it to be 100% blown, right? I was like, I'm going to buy a toy that is super fun, that reminds me why I sell real estate, why I sit in the red light, why I sit in the yellow head, and why I'm, working on a Friday and a Saturday and a Sunday. And sure, let's go see I showed 17 properties, I think, between Saturday and Sunday.
Wow. Is it just it's a big volume thing? It's like, is it kind of more properties you show, more yeses you're going to get? Does it kind of work like that, or?
No, because you got to dig through the garbage can. There's a lot of bad stuff out there, and pictures lie.
Yeah.
I mean, you get on site and you're like, oh, this is water damage, this is molding, this is wear and tear, right? Like today I showed a house and all the tile around this, like the floor tile around the sink was damaged.
Is that embarrassing sometimes? Like when you
It's
go
horrible.
to a place and you're just like,
Like, do
fuck, I can't even
you
sell
check
it.
them out beforehand?
But how can I? I'm not driving around twice, right? Like I'll bring my client and I tell them really upfront, I go, we're going to have to look at a lot of garbage to find something good.
Yeah.
That is just the reality. You don't get mad at me, right? Because you think, oh, Jennifer's just selecting all these bad houses so she can waste all my time today. No.
It's wasting my time too. I want to get you in the house. I want to get the check. I want you to be happy.
Because you know what? Pictures lie. We didn't see all those deficiencies until we got there. We didn't see all the dings on the wall and the dings on the door. We didn't realize that the door doesn't even open properly,
Yeah.
I mean, this place looks awesome, but when I was walking up that staircase here, I was like, woo, today could be my last day.
Old building.
She's mad about the building like warping as she's walking up.
I know, it's
like
hilarious.
full
I love it.
I'm
Actually,
not
I
mad
get
at all. If today's my last day, it was a great day.
Yeah, it's a great day to end it in the ThoughtXchange headquarters.
Yeah.
ThoughtXchange headquarters.
So what kind of advice would you give to someone who's trying to start off?
Start off.
Like if you were to look back and be like, okay, if I had to do it over again, what would I do?
I do it
First.
exactly the same because I went to go work for a builder, which I highly recommend because my first 2 years out of the gate, I got a salary and I got a free education and I got to watch 50 houses under construction that year.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So you learned a lot about the actual build of a house as
Big
well.
time.
Yeah.
I'm not a contractor. I don't swing a hammer. I'm not going on site. I got stilettos on, right? But I get it. I get it. I love it. And I understand it. So that, and had I have gone into the industry without that experience, and they give you a salary, right? They gave me, I didn't make a lot of money.
But it's enough to at least, you're not stressed out.
No, you're not stressed out. It's enough to survive. And then, I mean, so when I saved $100,000, but because I would work weekends, right? So I worked 140 weekends in a row. There's not a lot of people that are willing to do that.
Yeah.
But I wanted that money because then I had friends around me that were buying houses all the time. So that was always my
Motivation.
my desire.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to play on the Monopoly table, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to play to win, and I needed certain things to play, right? And I didn't have them through my small business. My small business, I got no real leverage. And I didn't really get a lot of leverage either being an employee, but I eventually, and I read at least, I would say 10 books a year about, I've read Timothy Ferriss, I've read The E-Myth, I've read all of these different books that talk about, how do you get yourself out of that quadrant, right? Like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I've played cash flow 20, 30, 40 times in my life. So, but to me, this is kind of like my hobby too, right? I love personal growth. I love seeing transition and change. I love accountability. I love people rising up and being the best versions of themselves, which in a way, when you buy a house, you are being the best version of yourself at that moment, right? You're making a commitment to that asset. You're making a commitment perhaps to your family. You're making a commitment to, this new lifestyle. So to me, that's part of the equation that I really enjoy.
It is a big purchase. You're making like a 10, 15, 20-year commitment sometimes.
25, 30.
Sometimes
Dude,
30.
sometimes
no, I
70
mean like
where
where
they
you're
do
going
it
to live.
twice.
Like I'm going to live there for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
right?
but you're on the hook for that mortgage.
Well, but
for
you can
30
always
years.
sell it. So technically, it's
You
only
can
like
sell
five.
it within a 5-year period.
5-year
Otherwise,
period.
you're paying out that. I mean, prepayment penalties are. A lot of people puke when you tell them that. Like it's hardcore. And
So
the
the bank's got to
wins.
get paid. The bank has to get
Bank
paid.
gets paid.
They always
right?
say the
The
bank's number one.
The
They
bank
always
makes
say
it,
that.
the weird part is if you do the numbers, the house costs $350. The bank makes $350, and you're like,
Yep.
what?
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, because like once all the interest
Once
goes
all the
through,
interest is
it's
paid,
not-
you essentially pay double for whatever you bought because it's such a long holding period.
They love
I
that.
mean, we
They
don't-
like them longer, eh?
We don't finance a bottle of water for 30 years, right? Like you just wouldn't do that. But the banks are, and they're first on title. They're, you're second.
Yeah, you
You're
actually
not-
don't
you're
even
not
own the house.
Owner.
No, it says
God,
tenant,
no.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it could be tenants in common, or that depends if you have two people on title. Then you want to like separate the division of it.
Yeah. But it's not. It's the bank's the first. It's TD whatever, or
That's
it's BMO whatever the bank's financing it. It's not you. It's
Big boss
That's why
daddy.
it's interesting, like when you're dealing with these investors and that they buy it through corporations, because then they'll be the first on title.
Not if they have financing involved.
No financing. They're the financiers.
Oh, if you're paying cash, of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but you
like-
still have to get the cash from somewhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
9 times out of 10. Well, you always want to use other people's money if you can.
That's what they're saying. Like, so you use the other.
That's one of
people
their
and
principles
and
for
you
sure.
And you flip them, right? And then you like all of a sudden so you make a couple $1,000, $20,000,
But you tie your
$30,000.
cash up for 30 days to get it under contract, then you resell it. That's your margin.
Yeah.
But your cash could be tied up for 60, 90, 100 days,
Yeah.
right? So you might have holding costs, or you might have, whatever.
there's a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot that goes. You'll learn in the course.
You'll learn
the little ins and outs.
Yeah.
There's a lot that
well,
goes
that's the
into
thing,
it.
like learning those ins
And
and
there's
outs.
some
because-
good groups of people. Like if you seriously want to get involved in this, there's a lot of good groups of people in Edmonton, and it becomes your fun
That's what I want. Like just something to do, like as
in the winter, right? Like you're not going to play soccer, right?
Yeah.
Do you still play soccer? This is your new mental soccer, right?
And you got kicked out of hockey.
Yeah, I got kicked out of hockey.
Why?
I have a.
He snaps first.
I snap first. It's true. I can't play hockey. Like I have a something comes out that I can't control.
Your demons?
It comes out. Well, it's not even my demon. It's just it's a very powerful essence that comes out.
It's the Chilean in you, man.
And he
it's
pops
like the
out, but he pops out.
passion. It's passion.
And I lose control, but like for like a split second, and I go whoa, and I ran the thing. I was like, what was that? And it's like it just comes out pretty, and it comes out pretty heavy. Like it's like the.
Okay,
it's
well,
like, I have one button.
Let's tame that dark energy.
No, I have
day.
one button, and when I play hockey, that button is just like, like the whole game, and I'm just like I can't handle this anymore. Like. Just pushing my button the whole time until I just I lose it.
Okay, well, this is a whole other chapter. I'm going to introduce you to a really cool book. So that
Okay.
if that is a trigger and you truly identify it as a trigger, you can dig really deep into that.
Nice. Stevie gets triggered. I
We
like
all
it.
get triggered, right? It
Well, I know
takes
what
a
it is.
long
I
time
don't-
to identify your triggers.
I know what it is. I usually just stay away from, it doesn't happen I don't like all of a sudden someone does it and I lose it right away.
Yeah.
I'm very self-aware and I
Okay.
avoid people that are like that.
Okay, so what do you not like about it? Is it the competition?
No, it's just disrespectful.
Right.
When someone's blatantly disrespectful.
That's right. So that's your non-negotiable.
It's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And
We
so,
all
like,
have non-negotiables.
Yeah, I guess. And it's it's one of
Cool.
those things where you're just like, what the fuck?
So I bet you that's one of your top 5 values is to be respectful.
Yeah, there's respect, loyalty, loving, honest. Honesty is a big one for me. Like if people lie to me about little things, then I usually cut them off right away. I did that usually for my own sanity, just because my imagination is so wild and vivid. I'm a visual artist, so which means I see everything in my head. I can see things in my head before anything I can visualize. That's what I am. I'm a visual artist, so I see it.
Yeah.
So I just recreate
You're
whatever
powerful.
I vision. So when and I'm very logical, and I make things make sense to me. But what happens is if shit doesn't add up, and someone's lying to me, my brain goes like worst case scenario every time. So for my own sanity, I would just oh, okay, you need to go. Because my brain will just take me places where I don't want to go, and then you get what you think about is what you believe, and then all of a sudden your feelings go through the roof. You get anxiety, you get stressed out, you just
Okay, so I'm going to introduce this saying to you and you can take it wherever you want. But if you had the belief that life is happening for you, not to you, why would all those things be happening for you?
Which one?
All those things that you're experiencing.
Before, I know why I was dealing with all that stuff before. A lot of the stuff wasn't even mine. I was picking up other people's. I was picking up everyone else's.
Oh, you're an empath.
I was. I don't I haven't been for. Since,
Yeah, but you're selectively cutting yourself off.
Which one?
You are selectively
I
cutting
was.
yourself off.
Now it doesn't. It's really weird. Ever
it really
since the
weird?
whole thing's changed, like I don't feel it anymore.
Okay.
Like can imagine this, like growing up your whole life being an empath and feeling everybody's emotions all the time, and like learning to like, okay, I need to cut you out. I need to cut you out. I'm like, and being avoiding certain types of people because of the way it affects me.
Yeah.
Emotionally, and then all of a sudden overnight it just gone, and I'm just like, what happened?
Hey, well, if you can teach what you shifted out of, do you know how powerful that is? Forget about real estate selling these contracts. No, seriously.
Yeah.
If you could teach people how to do that, if you can get back to that moment of something that you did to switch
I
that
didn't
off.
really even do anything other than it was literally.
So it was just a choice, do you think?
No, it was through that baptism. Once I did that baptism.
Yeah, I'm
it
thinking
was
in my
gone.
head, I'm like, can you sell baptisms? I was like,
how do
that
I
seems,
sell
a little,
baptisms?
that seems a little wrong. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, that's a little weird.
Yeah, you can't sell those. But
was
it
like
was
a little
weird. Like,
sacrilegious or
as soon as
something.
I did it, it was
Why
like.
can't you sell them? You can sell the experience of them. You can sell the process of them. At the
You
end
can
of the
explain
day,
to people what it's all
You
about.
could
Yes.
monetize it.
You
We
could
could put a
monetize
bathtub
that.
up here on the patio. We could put a bathtub and we could do some baptisms, but like it just seems perverted. Like it seems
I
wrong.
think the moment that you shifted, from my opinion, is because you believed something changed.
Maybe,
Yeah,
but it did.
for sure it did.
Something did, and
For sure it did.
I experienced something that I can't explain.
Cool.
And it was just like all of a sudden it was like a light bulb went off and I can't explain anything, and then I just let go, and then everything just started to go click 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 click.
Awesome.
And I was just like, wow, okay. Like,
So
I
you
feel
went through
great.
surrender.
I surrendered, yeah, but surrendered to the right
Entity,
right
yeah.
entity, because like I was being asked to surrender to a different entity at the time too, and I was just like, no, like no, like I recognized it right away, and I'm like, you are
Cool.
not right. This is not. How did I end up here? How did I end up?
So this is your gift.
Which one?
You can see this, hear this, feel this.
Yeah, but I think it's gone now. The reason why I had it for so long, as I honestly truly believe, is because I went through 3 near-death experiences
Really?
in my life. I was set on fire when I was 6. I drowned when I was about like 8 or 9, and then I flipped a car when I was 17. And all of those experiences, something else showed up. And so from there, it was like super sensitive to everything.
Cool.
Yeah, but it wasn't because it was a curse. Because I didn't know what the fuck it was,
Right.
Like, when you're just like, why am I so stressed out? Why am I have so much anxiety?
But you
Why am
probably
I doing
worked with
this?
people very easily because people weren't telling you what they were feeling, but you were
I could
able
feel
to
it.
know.
It was the weirdest thing. People would talk to me and they would spill all of their inner darkest emotional secrets because they felt a specific thing around me, and I was like, why are you telling me all of this stuff? Like,
I'm just your trainer.
No, but not even that. I'd be at a party and someone would just start talking to me and then just start spilling everything on me, and I'm just like,
How cool.
what? I guess, but I'd be like, I don't understand why I would get all of this stuff all the time. On a
You could have
regular basis.
monetized that, Stevie.
Maybe that's what a psychologist does.
I just think like if you wake up today and you move humanity forward in whatever way, shape, or form, like you totally have done your job,
Ideally, yeah.
right?
That's true, yeah.
That's all we were supposed to do.
That's all we're supposed to do.
We're all supposed to just basically be an example and move forward, and then try to the more souls that we can save. I honestly believe this. The more souls that we can
Yeah.
save as we're going is what you're really actually working on. Like anything
That's
else
right.
you're kind of doing
Well,
on your own.
we're
to
talking
kind of
briefly about the states. We're talking about segregation. We're talking about. I don't want to get into the crazy negatives because it's all just opinion and perspective, right? But what is it going to take to save us out of all of that? It's going to be the people, right? They're afraid of the people. The power is in the people, right? And we've been hearing that for generations and generations and generations. It is in us.
Well, the power. This is where the power resides in where you put it. So if you think that phone has power, it has power. Because you put
Yeah.
power into it. Power only exists where you put it. So as soon as you start to realize that, you just don't give it power.
Yeah.
It's like having your boss come up to you and tell you where you go,
Yeah.
like bark at you. If you allow him to bark at you, like there's certain things, like I've been reading the Bible quite heavily, and you read certain things, and you read it and you're like, whoa, that was dark, and I'm just like, but it was true. I'm just like, there's certain things in there, like talks about like where if a slave master beats his slave and beats him before he dies, and then he doesn't die, and then he comes back and the slave master continues to work for his master, he owns that slave forever, right? That's a true statement, because that slave went back to the master that beat him to almost to death. So
What's he
that
supposed to do?
that message is not for the master. That message is for the slave.
The slave's supposed to come back and kill the guy?
No, the slave
just
is not
dip
supposed to dip out. You know, like,
Just like, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm
Fuck
out.
that, I'm
you know,
out.
fuck you. I'm not helping you anymore.
No.
So like those statements are true in a sense, and like, yeah, you know, that message is not for the master saying you can beat your slave. That message was for the slave saying, yo,
Saying
man,
you
if
have a
someone
choice.
takes advantage of you and beats and like and does bad things to you, and you continue to go back to them, they own you. You know, they own you, and that's a true statement. Like you can't default the truth. You know,
Right.
like that's why the truth will set you free. But like once you see it, you're like, yeah, man, I'm just like.
Wow, that's actually crazy.
Very deep.
Yeah.
Problem is seeing it, being able to see it.
You have
That's
to
where
be
the
able to see
self-awareness
it.
comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the patterns, or like, hey, why am I so bitchy and reactive today? Oh yeah, because my boyfriend is an asshole to me.
Yeah, but it's even that stuff. Like people's arguments, for instance, like every argument that in relationships, I did like, it's so weird. I did so much psychology studying and stuff. Like I should have been a psychologist at some point. But like every argument in a relationship comes down to two basic categories. It's either power and compliance. So who's in control, right? Am I in control or are you in control? And one of them has to submit. So there always has to be someone who's submitted to the other person. Doesn't matter who, one's in
Right.
charge.
Even a decision on a restaurant. Right?
Doesn't-
Like,
yeah.
hey, where are we going? What do we eat?
You know, like, and if it's your domain, like for instance, if the backyard, you know, you manage the backyard, and then I come in back there and I throw shit around, you'll lose your shit, and you'll start an argument with me about like, you know, don't leave a fucking, you know, a soccer ball laying around on my lawn, you know, and be like, it's just a soccer ball. It's not about the soccer ball. The argument is about
It's kind of the respect too.
the power and compliance over who's in control of that domain. So you have to kind of look at the root cause. And the other arguments that always break down is value and neediness. So when someone's value goes up and they become more valuable, which means that more people want to spend time with them, the other person's neediness automatically goes up. So then as soon as someone's value goes up, the other person becomes annoying and this and that. It's just what happens, because like your value is not matching up to the other person's value, so your neediness increases. So as soon as they start spending more time away from you, you're like, you're never home, you never do this, you never do that. And
When
I'm
I
like,
joined the cult, yes.
and it has nothing to do with you joining the cult. It has to do with you're not spending time with me. That's all it is, you know? So like you have to start looking at what is this argument actually about? Like, what are we arguing about here? Are we arguing about the garbage can? Like, realistically?
I'm very bad with intimate one-on-one relationships, like dating, because I like variety and I like a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I'm an only child. And I survived in my own neighborhood by, I can go to person X's house from 8:30 to 8:45, and then I'm going to travel over here to person Y's house. But that's how I ran my life as a child, because I was bored and I didn't want to stay at home. So as an adult, I'm kind of like, well, really? Like we have to hang out more than once or twice a week? Like, feels like a lot.
That's hilarious. I'm kind of the same a little bit, yeah.
I used to do that too. I used to jump from one, like I used to never be in a social group.
Bounce around
I used
from
to jump
multiple
from one
ones.
group to the next group to the
Yeah,
next group.
I would get like a bit of flavor over here,
Yeah,
and
and
I want some spicy over here, and then I'd be like, I'm not really like you guys, but I enjoy you, like
Yeah.
just get my flavors all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's hard to make that one commitment to, oh, this is my flavor, this is what I'm going to do all the time. I really
Yeah.
can't.
Well, when you put that type of, I have to do it, that's when it ends up being, I don't want to do it. But like if you just do it because you just like enjoy it, then you just do it. But like it's that whole birdcage effect. So when people are in a birdcage together, they feel that, and I'm like, oh, I can't go see what's outside the birdcage, And so you always want to know what's on the other side of the birdcage. But then you leave the birdcage and you realize,
You're like, hey, this is crap out here.
I really liked being in the birdcage.
Yeah.
Like
That's funny.
So it's that same thing. Like everyone likes the other person's grass. Everyone thinks everyone's grass is greener.
It's always like that, man.
Yeah.
But hey, so we
Let's get
well,
close to wrapping this up, or
Yeah, I was going to say advice. I know it's kind of taking it back. So advice to someone first starting out in business. You were saying
Network,
network.
get your
Yeah.
mentorship in order.
Yeah.
And that was actually one of the mandatory things of getting a loan with BDC and the Canadian Women Business Foundation. You had to have a mentor, and you had to meet with them once a week.
Yeah.
And because to me it was like, oh, I just want to see, how does this person live? How do they plan their day? Or how are they managing their time, their assets, their energy, their cash flow, their resources, everything, right? So it was extremely beneficial to me.
Yeah.
I would say read as much as you can. And so I've spent $100,000, and now what I've spent $100,000 is 100% free on YouTube.
That's wild, hey?
Right? There's no excuse for you not to do Tony Robbins material.
It's right there.
Is it online?
Absolutely.
You can get it.
Really?
All of it.
All of it, yeah.
All of it. Deepak Chopra's stuff, if you want to learn to meditate or you want to, almost.
I don't know. I find Deepak Chopra kind of a little bit of a hack.
He's a billionaire, isn't he?
No, because he's more of a businessman than he is as a spiritual guy. Because I've watched this thing and I'm just like, oh,
You watched his documentary?
I watched the documentary his son did on him, and I'm just like, his son
His
threw
son
him under
threw
the
him
bus.
under the bus big time.
He threw him under the bus.
However,
The Johnson & Johnson guy did that too.
He threw him under the bus, and I was just
Johnson's
like, because he was showing the real Deepak Chopra instead of like.
okay, the real Deepak Chopra, yes, he's always on his phone, true. But I've met him in person, and I know there's a lady in the city that was his first employee like 34 years ago. She lives
Yeah.
in this city. And she goes to hippie church. She's a really cool woman.
Yeah.
So she knows him, like they talk on the phone daily. And he is so committed to transformation and change. It is about the money. He makes a ton of money. A ton. Like every little event festival he runs, he's making close to $300,000.
Jeez, let's go.
Okay? But he is always booking another gig, always doing another interview, always writing another book, always planning another XYZ.
Always grinding, yeah.
Because he is committed to implementing that change. It's not about the money. It really is not. His son tried to make it look like he is about the money because he's on his phone 24 hours a day.
No, but you know what I gathered from the documentary is that his dad is so committed to this movement.
He's missing out.
That
on
he's
his
missing out on his family, and that was the message I got.
For sure.
That was like he's so blind to the fact that his family is just like. Why
And
are
what
you spending time with
percentage
them?
of the male population is committed to providing? And that's all he's doing. He's providing the most excellent life he can for humanity and his family. And does he have the blinders on? 5,000%. But I could name you another million people in this city that are doing the same thing.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how enlightened are you if you can't see what's right in front of you? If you can't see that your family's basically saying.
I don't know. You don't know the inner workings
I
of
don't
this whole
know.
thing.
I
Neither
don't
of
know.
us do. None of us.
I just
none
saw
of
what
us
was
do.
on the camera,
That's
and I could
hilarious,
see it.
though.
But I was just like, and you saw it too.
Yes.
You saw it too. That I was just like, that's.
He big time threw his dad under a
He
bus.
threw his dad under the bus.
Big time.
He did.
Big time.
Yeah.
And maybe that was his point. Like, hey, Dad, pay attention to us because we're the family. But Deepak would rebuttal and say, no, I'm here for humanity. Zip it.
Yeah.
Go get a job, buddy.
I already raised you. Beat it.
I already raised you. Beat it. Skedaddle. You probably have an unlimited credit card. Get out of my house and do something to help humanity, to push us further along, right?
That's wild. So we have get the mentor.
Get the mentor.
Yeah.
Have a plan.
Have a plan.
Right? You have to have a business plan.
Doesn't even have to be a good plan. Just a plan.
A plan for sure. Save money for sure. Have low overhead. I'm 40 years old. I have a roommate. People laugh at me and they're like, why? I own multiple properties. I own rental properties. Why do I have a roommate? Because I like $700 for Starbucks. That's why.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Whatever. It just splits it up. Yeah.
Not only that, but like I have a roommate, and I'm just like
Sephora.
I like the company. I don't.
I
see
do
him
like the
as
company
often.
too. I like the camaraderie. I work from home for a little bit, then I go out, show real estate, and then I come home. So I kind of want that hour by myself to decompress. But after that, I'm like, hey, who's here? What do you want to do?
Yeah, it's kind of good that way. Yeah. And then we could talk about maybe list off 5 books that really stuck out to you.
Because
Like
you're reading 10 a year.
I'm reading 10 a year, yeah, and I'm doing Audible very often.
Yeah.
I'm going to the gym in a fasted state for 2 hours.
I can't even believe she didn't come off the fast very good.
Sometimes I break good, sometimes I don't. But yeah, I went to a potluck party and I was like, boo.
I always giving her shit. And I was like, did you just finish your fast? She goes, yeah, when did you finish? Like, now? And she's eating all this. I'm
Just
like,
banging out
and I'm
like
just
pierogies and
But
shit.
and I went to bed like instantly.
And I was like,
and my
yo,
kidneys hurt.
I was
Yeah,
just
poor
like-
kidneys, your lower back, like, oh.
Yeah, I told her, I'm like,
yeah, these are working overtime right
They're
now.
working
And it was like a
overtime.
Saturday night, and I was like, woo, somebody hit the cheese hard. Bedtime.
Yeah, I was
so
like, I called it. I
funny.
was just like, oh, I can't believe you do it. Because I got my ass kicked, and I did it properly. And on day 4, my fucking kidneys were hurting.
Yeah, I've
And I was
passed
just
kidney
like-
stones, though.
Oh,
For
wow,
sure.
you're a seasoned kidney pain
Yep.
person.
Yep. I've had nights where I can't, like, I'm not as bad now, but I've had cortisol jacked to the roof nights where you can't sleep. I've had to give up coffee. I've had to give up water. And I've passed a couple kidney stones. But now when I fast, I don't get any of that pain.
Wild.
I don't. So, and I would do a baking soda and lemon shot, and once
Yeah.
again, if you want this, it's on YouTube and it's free,
Yeah.
right? It's all there. We don't have to pay
Still
people.
recommend you try using a doctor at some point. They always say,
Yeah,
the
we
thought
have to
exchange-
throw that out there. Yeah,
Well,
Thought
they
exchange-
say
have to
that
throw
because of
out there.
liability.
the
Yeah,
thought
we're saying that with
exchange-
liability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thought exchange
Yeah.
Consult a doctor.
recommends consult a doctor before you do any type of long day fast.
Fasting, yeah, some
Yeah.
long fasting. Consult your doctor, please.
But that's interesting though. Like the reason why I did the fast is because like the control issue, like the some of the things that you want to control is one, your food,
Yeah.
sex drive,
Yeah.
and what was the other one that you want to try to get control over?
your
There-
tongue.
Huh?
Your tongue and your thoughts.
Your tongue, thoughts. Like these are things
Yeah.
that you want to.
It is so true. When you become disciplined to say no to your stomach, and then your brain takes over, right? And then you're like, no, we have to eat, and you're like, no, we don't.
It's a wild feeling, hey?
And it is so powerful.
That first day and a half, like 2 days, is just like.
Oh, I'm so good now. If I can get to 48, I can get to 72. And if I pass 72, watch out.
Well, it's.
I have like laser beam focus.
Well, no, it's like a cycle though, because like I found day 1 and day 2 were the hardest because all I was like, after 12 hours, it's like, hey, we're gonna eat, we should go eat, let's go eat. Are you hungry? Let's go hungry. I'm like, shut up,
Everybody's
like,
different.
but that's what was
People don't
happening.
know.
My brain was just like for the first 48 hours was like that, and then
Yeah.
you get past it, and then day 7, I got my ass whooped because
yeah,
I was just
you
like,
will fall off
you fall because of you go
because
into
your
that
adrenal glands are too
yeah,
wired.
no, you go into that state where your body's like, okay, now we need to reorganize everything.
We need to reevaluate here,
Yeah,
people.
so then all of a sudden your body just shuts down and you're like, I can't move. I'm so tired. I'm bagged. I don't know. I feel sick. I feel like I got the flu. You
Yeah.
know? And then the next day you wake up and you're like,
Hey, you guys should have Cole Robinson on that show. You know who that is? What does he scream at people? Hey, fatty.
Oh, that guy?
He's local.
Oh, jeez.
He's local.
Yeah, that'd
Did
be
you
a
know
big
that?
one. That's the one where he's got like fat
that
women.
sign,
hey,
I
fat,
heard
what,
it. Yeah. What's the deal with
you
that?
fat pig
So-
women. Yeah, what
No,
is
That's
that?
a
You know what,
workout
though?
guy. Like, that's a trainer.
No, he's an
the
intermittent
snake diet
fast. He's
guy.
a snake diet guy. He's 1 million followers, I think, on YouTube. He is so mean, so direct. He yells at people at every single video. But I got to tell you something. If you meet him in person, which I did, he cares about people, and he cares about overweight kids. He does not charge money, and he has if he earns money, he gives it away in a contest for kids to lose weight. And it's all about like get off the food.
He's
And-
a bit of a pattern interrupt marketer. Like
That's right.
he uses that
A
to
pattern
pattern
interrupt.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
interrupting a pattern because
he
you see a sign that
shocks
says that.
the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
shock. But then if you really pull it away, you're like, oh, he's kind of got
So
some
he'll
truth to what he's
stare at
saying.
the camera and he'll wait for 1,000 people to come on. I don't know what his number is, but he's got a number, and he'll stare at the camera, and then he goes, "Hey, fatty!" and he starts.
Yeah, and he just rants. Yeah. Yeah, let's get him on the show, actually. Let's get him on. Yeah, let's do it. I'll reach out to him.
Hey,
he's got
fatty.
Facebook.
Hey, fatty.
Yeah.
But it works. It
Yeah,
does
you
work.
got a lot of
Background,
flack for
all
that.
the
Like,
people
you got a
give-
lot of
I
flack.
saw
Okay,
the one because he
he
held
got
the
a lot
sign
of-
on the
on Jasper.
side.
He got a
Wow.
lot of flack because people don't understand why he's really doing it. If you meet him in person, he is a 1,000% genuine guy. He is 1,000% committed to his mandate.
Yeah.
It's not about him. It's not about the money. You know, he lives with a Muslim family for free because he is pairing with people that are finding like patterns of fasting.
Wild.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
he's very connected to the mission. Like, he's cool. Okay, my books. I want to say my 5 books. Napoleon Think and Grow Rich is the first most powerful book in the world, number 1. I feel like every book is based on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have enthusiasm. You know, I love it. You gotta be excited. You know, I love him too. Like he's
Right?
great. Yeah.
Napoleon Hill. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind would be number 2, Joseph Murphy. And then I would say anything on meditation, anything that is bringing the science of the brain, like the Joe Dispenzas. I'm really into Joe Dispenza right now. Powerful. I mean, one Deepak Chopra seminar, we got to who is your mentor, who is your idol, and why do you idolize them? And you got to write down all the characteristics of why you love that person, or you idolize them, or their behaviors, or what it was, right? And then you wrote down all the things that you value, because we do operate on values, right? We're always looking for someone to match our values, right? So if you're very kind and very courteous and very generous, I'm going to see that, because those are things that I like to witness in myself as well.
You mirror that, yeah.
I mirror that, right?
And all the bad stuff in yourself, you'll see it in me too.
That's true.
Yeah. So if there's certain things you don't like about yourself, you'll be like,
And then
you'll see it in me. Like
Yeah.
I'll do something and be like, fucking hate that.
And I'm reading an absolutely amazing book right now. And Hippie Church is on Sundays at 10:30. It's 101 Avenue and 75th Street, right beside the car wash. It's called the Center for Spiritual Wellness.
101?
101 Ave.
101
So
Avenue.
Forest Heights and
And
75th Street, Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky Ave and 101 Ave.
Yeah, right beside
Okay.
the car wash.
Okay. Oh, I'm just trying to think which car wash that is. Is that the Rock and Roll? No.
No, that's not the good one on 50th Street.
No.
So 150 of us are doing this book called the 15 Conscious Leadership Principles. And everybody's a leader, right? I'm not talking like a CEO leader. I'm talking about within your group of friends, within your family, within your corporation, within your work, within whatever it is, right? So we have 150 people doing that book. And we're doing it over 15 months. We're only doing one chapter a month. So I think that's cool. And I think that that's exciting. And I invite you to come do that with us
At the Hippie Church.
at Hippie Church.
Yeah. I'll check it out one of these days.
It's a beautiful place if you're connected to spirit. And so it's non-denominational. They say any way that you can connect with spirit, whether it's facing the east or connecting with a light or connecting with a prayer or whatever you want to do. However you connect is beautiful, wonderful. We're never going to question that. But we provide a center for all those people to connect spiritually.
This sounds like the Masons minus the handshakes.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
That's what the Masons believe.
So yeah, it's a fantastic place.
And it's the handshake, the special handshake.
We need a special handshake.
Stevie's the pioneer of those.
Of which the handshake?
Yeah.
No.
But hey, I think we could do that as an episode.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Cool.
you very
I think
much.
we hit the time. Steve Van Diest, Cameron Barkey, Jennifer
Jen
Murphy.
Murphy.
Where do they find you? Where can our audience find you? What platforms? What's happening?
Where do they buy a house off you?
Yeah, where do they buy a house? I
Yeah.
have jenmurphysells.com.ca. That's my website.
Yeah.
I am with Remax, my brokerage, on 66th Street and 30th Avenue.
This is Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. You can, if you want to invest, if you want to be a first-time home buyer. My majority of my clients, I work with 20 clients a year, and I would say 80% of them are first-time home buyers, and then the other 5% are investors, and the other 15% are people, usually past clients.
And do you specifically go? You said Spanish niche, like Spanish speaking niche.
I go speak to a group of people that just got their PR cards. I go speak once a month to them
Wild, and then you sell them homes. Sweet.
if they're ready. Yeah,
Yeah.
show them how.
All right.
Show
So
them
our Spanish speaking audience out there,
Spanish-speaking audience. Yeah,
if you guys need a house, jenmurphysells.com.ca.
yep. You have to have a barbecue for me and my friends after.
Yeah, that's a rule.
There you go. That's the rule.
That's the rule. You got to throw a barbecue at your house.
I want carne asada. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. But hey, guys,
Carne
we'll
asada.
wrap that up as an episode.
All right.
What do you think?
Episode.
All right,
you
that's
very much.
episode 32, my friends. Take care.
In the books.
In the book. See
the
you guys
books.
later.
Peace.
Bye.